What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've uploaded a video on this channel. It has been extremely neglected, but as you guys can probably tell from the background, it's a different environment than the last time I posted, which was well over a year ago. And at the time, we were still in LA. We were in Los Angeles, still living out there. Past tense, not there anymore. We left LA in 2021. Actually, today, April 24th, marks 1 year that we left LA, which is crazy to think that it's already been 1 year since we left. And I just wanted to sit down today and kind of give you guys a little bit of the background as to why we left. How did this all even happen? Where have we been since the last time I posted a video? And yeah, let's get into it. But before we do, I need a beverage that contains chemicals and substances that can make this all more palatable, if that's even a word. So cheers. So where do we start? Gosh, I think this entire thing, and actually we could probably even start since right about when the pandemic hit. I think COVID-19 and the entire pandemic hit everyone very different, and obviously affected us just like everyone else, did in the world. When LA specifically shut down, it was pretty extreme, but it definitely affected us in multiple ways. I mean, at the time I'm still working in the company that I'm still working at, but at the time it was a lot of customer facing. Obviously I work in a customer service kind of environment. So that kind of fear and I guess precaution and just everything that came along with it, with still having to work every single day, even during the pandemic. I was never laid off, luckily. I mean, at the time it was definitely times where I just kind of want to be home and safe and kind of figure out what exactly was going on. But, that wasn't the case, and I still had to go to work, which in hindsight probably did help just keeping my mind, busy and occupied, and kind of kept me busy, which, I think it was definitely a good thing that I did. So once that happened, obviously LA was completely shut down. Everything was shut down. No one was going on. No one was doing anything. And what I realized was that kind of taking LA out of that, going out and, restaurants, bars, this and that, and so on and so forth, take that out of it. And there really isn't much to do in feeling alone, just feeling alone out there and not having any, friends or family mainly to, get checked up on or just making sure that everyone was okay and just having that comfort of, having everyone close together. We didn't have that. And I got COVID-19 in July of 2020, when it was still somewhat newish. I mean, I know we had been in it for a few months at that point, but I got it, Rick got it. It was pretty bad. And just kind of having to navigate that alone was tough. Having to, luckily we had enough groceries at the time, so we didn't have to necessarily go out. And once I started feeling better, then obviously just ordering out of Uber Eats and whatever the heck. And I don't know, it gave me, at least I'll speak for myself, it gave me such a sense of loneliness. And if something were to happen, who do we really have that can be there if it need be? And I kind of just realized that we didn't really have anyone. You want your family around whenever you have those moments of sickness and things like that, and obviously a world pandemic going on. You definitely want to feel your family close. The second thing, I mean, LA is not necessarily the safest place. I mean, obviously there's definitely your nicer areas, and there are not so nice areas. And we were definitely lucky and privileged that we lived in really nice spots. We lived in really nice places of LA, and we got to really enjoy the city, and kind of, whatever you see on social media was kind of where we were living, which was kind of cool. But when the whole riots started, and especially that one weekend where it was just really rough in LA, we kind of saw that from our window, seeing the break-ins and seeing this and seeing that, and the cops and the National Guard and everything that was kind of being seen on the news. We were seeing it live through our living room window and kind of seeing it on TV at the same time. So it was a bit of like, oh gosh, like, what's going on. And, the safety factor was also a thing. And obviously the homelessness had been an issue in LA, and it continues to be an issue in LA. There was definitely a lot more homelessness that we encountered. And I mean, mind you, there was never anything that was ever done to us personally, or, that we've encountered, but you kind of always still have a little bit of, doubt, like whenever you're walking around and things like that, especially at night when you're walking the dogs. I don't know, there was always this like uneasiness that you just kind of felt. How is LA kind of, how is it getting with safety? Like, is it safe? Do you feel safe? Like, and again, these are all questions that, aren't necessarily easy to answer, and it's still things that are continuing to happen. So, that was definitely a part of it as well. Kind of just feeling like, I don't know, like, is LA still the place we want to be? The third point that I'll bring up, with age, and again, I'll speak for myself, you kind of reach a point when you want to start settling roots and kind of getting your future somewhat set up. And as much as I really enjoyed LA and living there, and again, the going out and the parties and all that good stuff, I'm not that young anymore. And yes, it's all fun and games, but at the end of the day, like, I don't know, I kept thinking about like, what does the future me want? Like, what do I want to, kind of start? I definitely wanted to buy a home. Like, I wanted to like settle roots and, invest my money and kind of have something tangible where I can be like, this is what I'm working towards, and this is what I have to show for all my hard work and everything that comes with it, and not just have, dinners and parties and that one Instagram post that might get not even 100 likes as, something to show for the money that I have. That market in LA, it's just nuts. Like, there's no way we could afford anything in LA, at least in the parts of LA that we wanted to live in, with my salary. I mean, I'm not making peanuts or anything, but obviously, when you think about a home in LA, you're 1 million and above, and it only goes on from there. Plus, on top of all that, any remodels you want to do, like it takes money that obviously it was hard to come by living in LA, and with the rents that are already there, like it's nuts to try to save and buy a home and do all that in LA. Biggest thing, at least for me, was that idea of wanting to buy a home. And as you guys can see, we are here. We are in a new home. We've been here, it was June of last year that we got the keys to the house, and we started work right after we got the keys. Like, we definitely started working on tearing things up and, making it our own, and still a work in progress, but we've come a long way, and I'm excited to start showing you guys the progress, because we definitely want to, kind of do a little house tour, home tour, and kind of update you guys on what all of this was, because that alone is a whole other story, girl. And the last thing, I think I'm in point 4 or 5, I don't even know, I lost track. But the last thing I definitely wanted to accomplish with this move was just a more balanced work-life balance. I definitely felt overwhelmed and stressed in my work situation back in LA. It was a great opportunity that I had, and it's one of those things that, not a lot of people get to experience, being in the position that I was and in the location that I was. But I would be lying if I said that it wasn't tough. It was rough. It was definitely a lot of pressure. It was a lot of stress. It was a lot of having to just be on it 24/7, and especially obviously during office hours, like I just had to be on it. And I honestly don't think that pandemic helped, because by the time I started, let me think back here. By the time the pandemic hit, I had only been in this position in this particular office for about like 6 months. So I was barely starting to get like my footing and get like the rhythm of things and getting accustomed to how things ran, and clients and things like that. And then let's say the pandemic hit, and it just, everything got flipped around, from procedures to hours of operation, and just how we ran the everyday business was definitely different. So it just kind of threw me off a loop, and I was like, it was just hard for me to feel like I had a good grasp of my role and what I needed to do, and essentially how to keep everyone else, happy with my work. And I definitely take my work very seriously, and it's a part of how I see myself. When I know I'm doing a good job and I know I can see that people are happy with my work, it makes me feel good. I mean, who doesn't, like to feel good about the work that they're putting into the careers? But not kind of seeing that was a little difficult, and it kind of definitely hit my self-confidence for a while, and it was just very, very hard to kind of get out of that mentality and out of that funk. And I just felt like I couldn't necessarily keep up with the demand of the job, and this sense of feeling like lonely in LA, and this pandemic that was going on, and are we safe with everything going on? And it was just a bunch of things every day that just kind of accumulated to like this idea of like, I just kind of feel like I want to go home. Like I want to move home. To those who don't know, home for us is Bakersfield, California. Yes, Bakersfield, California. So I'll give you guys free reign to talk all the shit you guys want. But this is where I grew up. This is where I was born. My family was all here. All my friends are here. So it definitely has a special place in my heart. So this is where we ended up making the move to Bakersfield. And like I said, today marks 1 year since making that move. And I will say it's a little bit bittersweet. I will say the last maybe week, 2 weeks, I've been kind of in my feels about the whole situation, because trust me, there is so many parts of LA that I miss. And I was recently out there last weekend actually, and just driving around the city, I was like, man, like this used to be home, and it still is. Like it definitely still feels like home. When I was there, like I was like, damn, like I feel like I belong here. Like this all seems familiar, but there's a part of me that's like, well, this isn't home anymore, but I know it all. It's a weird feeling. But the good thing is, I mean, Bakersfield is only like 2 hours north of LA, so it's an easy, quick drive if we ever want to go to our favorite spots, or hang out with friends, or check out a new restaurant that comes up. So it's not all bad, but there's definitely days where I really miss it. There's just something about LA that if you live there and experience it, like people who live out there, I'm sure you guys would agree with me. But there's something about the city that's like, there's just this energy to it that, it's really, really nice. It's really cool. And I'm glad that I was able to experience it. We were out there for about 11 years. So I felt like we definitely got a good amount of time that we were there, and that we enjoyed it, and that we lived it. Cause trust me, we lived it. Like there was definitely a lot of things that we did that we definitely enjoyed it. And we, like I said earlier, like we definitely lived in really, really amazing places while in LA. So we got to really experience LA good, like the right way, I guess. Not that there's really a right or wrong way, but we lived it, and it was fun, and it was great. And now, we just want to kind of create this, new life for us, and this new home, make it our own LA home. Like everything that we've done to this place is like essentially what we would have done in a home in LA if we would have ever bought one, which who knows? Maybe we can. I mean, never say never. Like there's definitely a part of me that has thought about or would consider down the future if an opportunity came up that, if I could move back to LA, why not? So who knows? We might do LA 2.0 or something. I don't know, but we'll see. Yeah, that's kind of the story in a nutshell of kind of how we ended up leaving LA. It wasn't necessarily all bad. Like I said, there's still so much love that I have for LA, and I know that a lot of people kind of talk, shit and stuff, and this whole exodus of people from LA and California. I was like, no. For me, obviously, we didn't leave in any kind of bad note. I mean, yes, there are certain aspects of it that I was like, but I think it's aspects of life that kind of comes with age, and, kind of wanting to feel more settled and more established. So I don't know. And then I just started valuing things a little different. Like I mentioned earlier, like I definitely value work-life balance now. Yes, work hard, put in your time, you have to do, great work and, all that jazz. But at the same time, it's like once that's over, you have a whole ass life to live. And, you know, work shouldn't be your all. It should be just a tool to get you to live the life that you want outside of that 9 to 5 or whatever your situation is. But so we're getting there. We're getting established. Even if it's after 1 year, it doesn't still feel like we're completely settled. Like there's still a part of me that just feels like I'm here for a weekend visiting family, and then I'm about to get up and get on the 405. But we're getting there, and it's been definitely a roller coaster. I will say maybe that's a whole other video, but moving, what is this not focus on me? Moving back was another thing. But again, thank you guys for sitting here and kind of listening to me blabber about our LA life and what it was and kind of where we're at now. And yeah, I'm really wanting to keep up with this channel because I really do miss it. Like creating videos and editing and all that stuff. Mind you, they're nowhere near good. This is just, you know, very bad quality compared to other videos that we see out there. But at the same time, it was definitely a really nice creative outlet for me. And I want to continue doing this. I definitely want to start incorporating this again as part of my work-life balance situation that I had mentioned. So yeah, who knows, maybe we can see each other more often on this channel. I'm not even gonna try to attempt to give you guys a schedule because I don't know. Mind you, this video was nowhere near planned. I was just home and I was like, you know what? It is 1 year that we have been in LA, or sorry, out of LA. I just kind of wanted to like document my feelings and my thoughts and kind of just put it off from here out here, and for everyone cares to listen to it and watch it, give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, share this video, all that YouTube stuff that I hope you guys do. All right, guys, until next time, thanks again for watching, and peace.